Let's just start this video with a little flashback from my last video. And I posted some comments on his video, but seems like they're gone, because this is my page load in. I had this one at first with 29 likes, and I posted this one a bit later. However, when going into incognito mode, those comments are gone. There is no comments from me here whatsoever. He's deleted them. I don't know if I'm blocked or not, but they've sure been deleted. But of course I had some screenshots, because there's so many other comments being deleted. And he said here, "You no longer allow debunkers. Enjoy your echo chamber. People are welcome to try with constructive criticism." Okay. Twats with an agenda to distract and offer up unthinking rhetoric are not allowed. So you have something sensible to say, you're welcome. Well, I don't see my comment was that offensive. I try to be as nice as I can. Name-calling, assumptions, outright denial of reality, and adherence of insistence on sticking only to dogmatic beliefs, while ignoring the facts, is not constructive. Well, Nick, as I showed you before, and I'm going to show you in this video, I actually have some real, call it scientific, real proof of my observations, and it's not dogmatic at all. Some of these debaters need to learn how to conduct themselves in a fashion that is conductive to discussion rather than arguments. Well, Nick, again, you're being a hypocrite. So stop arguing the toss and start getting real. My observations are very real. Yeah, so Mr. Hypocrite, let's get starting with this debunking. Three days ago, I presented my debunking of Phuket after at least two others had presented their videos. And it seems like Nick has been a bit busy after that one. So let's just see what kind of bullshit he presents now.
Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. It must be about 5 years ago now that I first heard about the Flat Earth and was reminded that the horizon is always at our eye level. And this was an instant moment of recognition for myself.
Well, I can't be sure if Phuket saw my video or not. I left a comment on his previous video, but I bet he saw the other ones. So you got to be convinced by now that that just doesn't happen. Let's continue.
And following that were several months of making many more observations and trying to make measurements and trying to reaffirm this fact of life, that whenever we look across a surface, as we see here, the horizon is always at our eye level.
Measurements. Where are your measurements? This is just a photo without any point of reference whatsoever. This is just a photo of a lighthouse and the horizon. That's it.
And the only people that really have a problem with this are those that refuse to recognize this repeatable fact of any observation across the surface of the Earth, likewise across a level surface.
Repeatable, sure, but doing it wrong 1,000 times does not make it right. Just do it right once and you're done.
Whether that be a short or long surface, that surface will always appear to rise to our eye level.
No. Just no.
when the reality is that here, this horizon line here, is our eye level. This is in the center of our field of view in this particular image.
This is important. The center of the image is our eye level. Make point of that one.
But they do not reflect the reality of an observation such as looking at this lighthouse and seeing the horizon at our eye level.
Wait a minute. Is that horizon at eye level? This is clearly far above center frame in this image. Center frame is down here somewhere. So just how can this be eye level if it's so far above center frame?
But we can see from a photograph such as this one that there are two things that we can see when we make an observation like this. Here we have this lighthouse that's a physical object in front of us, and that has a physical height that in this case is slightly higher than the eye level of the photographer.
Slightly higher than the eye level of the photographer. Again, this is not center frame. Center frame is down here. So just where is the eye level of the photographer? Where is your point of reference? This is your center frame. Horizon is up here. We need some points of reference.
And then in the background we have the horizon. And that horizon is an indicator of the height of the observer. So we can tell from this image that the eye level of the observer is right here, where we see the horizon, just below the top of the lighthouse. This is the height of the observer, right here at the same height as this lighthouse, which is a physical object in front of us.
And we're back at the end of the world. Yeah. Nick, I'm about 70 feet or 22 meters above sea level. I have a lighthouse out there. And the height of that lighthouse is about 47 meters. And I'm shooting across a water level about midway up that lighthouse. This is my point of reference. And along that point of reference, I have wind turbines. Those are positioned in Sweden, about 75 kilometers away from me, up here. And they stand about 330 meters above sea level at the top of them. This how you use a point of reference. Please tell me I'm wrong.
But of course the horizon it appears up here. But we instinctively know that this does not mean that the water is rising to that same height. This is an optical effect of perspective. It is simply the way everything converges in the distance at the vanishing point in the center of our field of view.
But that isn't center of field of view. It's above. You have no points of reference, Nick. Get a hold of yourself. Stop contradicting yourself. This is getting stupid.
This lighthouse is a physical object in front of us, and we know that we are not looking into a bulge of curvature that rises up to the height of this lighthouse.
This lighthouse is also a physical object, and I actually use a water level as a point of reference to see where my eye level is. This is not by chance, this is by water level.
We are looking across a level surface that continues to be level.
Yes, you got something right. It's level. Level does not mean flat.
The height of this water does not change. It's not coming above the rocks here or anything like that. But of course, this is what we are led to perceive when we are told to consider ourselves from an external frame of reference with this kind of subjective view of the Earth from the side, where we appear to be looking into this bulge of curvature.
Why are you talking about references? You have none. This is a photo of a lighthouse and the horizon. There's no references here whatsoever. This is how you use a point of reference. Shoot across a water level.
So it must be really clearly outlined that there are, as I said, there are two things going on. We've got the physical object in front of us that we can see from the horizon line in the distance that is not our actual eye level, just appears to be at our eye level, that tells us how high we were compared to the lighthouse.
How can you say that when the horizon is far above center frame? Again, you have no points of reference, Snake. The horizon is above center frame. According to your own standards, that eye level is below horizon. Horizon rises above eye level. You have no reference point on the lighthouse to tell you where you are. The camera is tilting down, so obviously you are standing higher than the lighthouse. And again, I shoot across a water level to get the reference points right here, halfway up a 47-meter high lighthouse, and I'm at 22 meters. This is my contraption. This is my observation. And this is the result. Again, please tell me where I'm wrong. I dare you.
Let's have a look at a few more pictures here.
And then he goes on to present some more beautiful photos of our world with some planes and lighthouses and the horizon. However, Nick, as I said before, you have no points of reference. How do you know where this is when it's not eye level? How do you know which way the camera is pointing? You have nothing to put your fingers on. So how this can prove a flat Earth, I have no idea. You need to have some points of reference.
Eye level is a very simple thing to understand. It's an observation that anyone can make anywhere. Eye level is a horizontal line of sight perpendicular to plumb or vertical, straight ahead.
Yay! You're getting along. That's 2. Yay! Are we going for 3?
And it is the horizon that we see in the distance that tells us our relationship to everything else in the foreground.
Wah, 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 wah. That didn't last long. It's not the horizon that detects what's in front of us. It's the point of reference used. And as I said so many times in my last video and this video, my point of reference is here, across this water level. So again, Nick, just please tell me where I'm wrong.
So we're seeing two things in this field of view. We are seeing a physical object in front of us, and we are seeing the optical phenomenon of perspective, putting the horizon at our eye level.
So we're seeing two things in this field of view. We are seeing a physical object in front of us, with a point of reference according to the eye level set by the water level, and we are seeing the horizon dropping below eye level due to the curvature of the Earth.
And it is the horizon that tells us how high we are in relation to the physical object in the foreground.
But as I have pointed out, that horizon is well above eye level or center of frame in this picture, so you have no reference frame whatsoever to say where you are. And as I also said, this camera is pointing down, so you might as well be higher than that lighthouse. There is no way to tell. You have no points of reference.
This is our reality. There is no denying of it. No amount of explanations, excuses, obfuscation, or attempts to call eye level anything other than a straightforward horizontal line of sight will ever suffice to replace the reality of any observation that anyone can make anywhere, anytime.
So why then, Nick, are you presenting all these photos with no points of reference whatsoever? Here you have the horizon above eye level, center of frame. Here you have a horizon well above center of frame. Here you have a cloud layer. Here you have somewhere in center of frame. And yeah, you can claim horizontal and level as much as you want, but you need to have a point of reference. From this point out, all Nick does is throwing fallacies around, and I'm not very interested in that bullshit, so I'm just gonna play that at a fast speed and get through it.
And that's besides all the pseudoscience of the physics that has been put together to give us this idea that we live on an impossibly curved Earth where water bends and doesn't flow down curves. But it's this observation that anyone can make that proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that we do not live on a spinning globe. We live on a level Earth as far as any of us can tell. Demands for maps and models are ridiculous, they are inane, because there is no one on this Earth that has ever explored the entire Earth. So there is no authority on this. There is no way that any one of us can come up with a full map and model of the Earth. The globe Earth model that we have been given is a model that converts perspective into an imaginary curve, simply because a decision was made at some point in the past to have us believe and perceive that we live on an Earth that is going around the Sun in a heliocentric model. And the only way you can justify day and night in this heliocentric model is to have a spinning Earth. And so observations that are governed by perspective of the Sun, the Moon and the stars have been converted into this globe model to give us this subjective impression of the Earth and its place in space, when really nobody has any real idea about what this place is and where it is. Thank you very much.
Oh dear. Oh, what to say? Well, once again, Nick, if you keep watching, this is how you do it. You have a water level, and you make a point of reference, then you make your observation. Or, if you want to, if the Earth is flat, how far do I need to push that turbine to get it below my eye level? That's my question for you. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.